Welcome to Caves of Qud. In between episodes, Argon picked up a few skills: Charging Strike, Scrap Scavenging, and Tinkering level 2. We also added a mod that allows us to change our tile. The workshop link will be in the description, and we chose a tile that properly shows off Argon's chunkiness and wings. Once you have the mod installed, you can visit a guts monitor to change your tile. Let's dive deep again into the jungles of Qud. One thing that I wasn't sure that I was wanting to do, but I decided in between episodes that I am going to use my mutation points, since we have 4 of them, and it's still very early. Argon is only level 11 in order to buy a new mutation. This is going to give us one of 3 random choices, and it spends 4 mutation points. If you have precognition or an ability to see into the future, you can actually use it before doing this and then change your choice later. We don't have that, so we're just going to go ahead and do this. So we got 3 options, and 2 of them that we potentially might take. Beguiling allows us to basically mind control a target, and they basically just become our friend for a while. Two-Hearted would give us toughness, but it would also allow us to level it up to gain more toughness over the course of the run. This is a very good option. And then Carapace. Carapace is one of the best armor value mutations in the entire game, but you can no longer wear body armor. And I actually really kind of like outfitting my character with body armor, so I've never taken Carapace, but I do understand that it's theoretically some of the most armor value you can get. I think given these options, Beguiling is kind of very similar to a skill that we can get later. We're going to go ahead and take Two-Hearted. It gives us an immediate 2 toughness, and it'll allow us to sprint for longer, and every 2 levels will gain even more toughness. One thing that we picked up last time that I didn't mention, because I honestly didn't know what it was until I was watching another YouTuber do his series, which is Yondercane. Apparently, if we eat this, it doesn't say that, but if you eat this, it'll allow you to teleport to any other tile on the map that you've already seen. So this is a get out of jail free card. I didn't know that. That's kind of amazing. I think we are finally ready to go. Our next quest is to travel to Gritgate and meet the Barathrumite. Oh, there's some ruins nearby. Would you like to investigate? Sure. Some of these ruins could be pretty interesting. Looks like this one has some scorpions in it. I think I can handle scorpions. Yeah, they're easy for me right now. I probably should have just charged that guy, but... There's a shrine to Reshef here, and one starry evening, a babe was found swaddled with its mouth full of circuits by a group of Beetles in Red Rock. They took him into their fold and fostered him, and he became known as Reshef, the coiled lamb of Beetles. That's Reshef's origin method, looks like. That's his first story. We're going to travel across over here. Wow, we didn't get lost or anything, and head to Gritgate. A massive eater structure that has a deep chasm beneath it. And what just happened there, it was actually happening I'm going to turn down my automation speed real quick. Whenever I'm playing solo, I have my automation speed set to infinite. But I think that's a little bit too fast for YouTube. But what just happened there is that because we have psychometry, we touched this door and drew forth its passcode, allowing us to open it. Sometimes these red and yellow doors and stuff like that, they're actually really valuable to get open, and you can even find ID cards, which I don't think we have any. No, we don't. But you can find ID cards on a normal run in order to be able to open them. These doors are kind of all over the place, and they can have a pretty myriad amount of things in them. We're just gonna go ahead and freeze both those guys. We have a spark tick over here. We don't have to worry about per se, but I do want to take him down. Even though we do have this new character model now, which I think more appropriately fits our winged nature, we are going to have to get a tattoo gun at some point, I would like to see, because it'll allow us to change our character's appearance just slightly more, letting us color our tiles. Oh, that is a lot of these segmented mirthworms. Glistening barrels of silvery worm stuff shudder and tear into paws, and then excrete the process all over again. They're basically like, I think they're robots, question mark? I don't remember what they are, but there's a lot of them in Gritgate. There is a lot of them in Gritgate. I don't think they're properly robots per se, but they're some sort of weird little worm thing, and they always come in packs of like literally dozens and dozens. These retrofuges can be very dangerous, though, because their first hit on you is going to release their entire electrical mutation, and it can do a significant number. But one thing you'll notice is that these waydroids are not hostile to us. If you came to this place just on your own without anything else, they actually would be. But we were given a droid scrambler by Argive, which makes all of these guys not hostile, which is really nice. Got some lead slugs here. Oh, I forgot to check to buy any lead slugs from the sit-stay stilt before I left. Kind of just clearing these guys very quickly, charge into that guy. Oh, that's a crab. That's going to take a second to take down. These guys have an incredible, these eyeless crabs have an incredible amount of armor value. Although we have a two-handed hammer. Technically, we only have a one-handed hammer at this point. I forgot that we're still looking for our two-handed hammer. I would have talked about this in the intro, but one of the skills we picked up is scavenger. So now whenever we see trash piles, we can step onto them and we rifle through the trash. And let's see if we can find one. Oh, we didn't find any. Okay. The reason I wanted to grab scavenger right away is because we're about to get to the point in the game where we're going to see a lot of trash to rifle through. So I kind of wanted to take advantage of that and not have to come back later. This is not a great situation right here. Oh, thank goodness. The waydroid took care of the slime behind me. I wasn't liking the fact that I was getting surrounded by centipedes and slimes. We don't have a lot going for us yet, as far as, like, offensive skills. So we have to be a little careful. We're going to camp real quick, whip up a meal because we were getting hungry, and keep auto-exploring. There's a bear there. I'm going to charge that bear. It's like, yeah, I'd love to get the days off is what I was about to say, and then we did actually manage to get it off, which means that guy is good as dead. Heck yes. I think after we've gained this bonus toughness from 2 heads, I don't think I am... Oop. I accidentally charged into a waydroid, but because we have the scrambler, he actually didn't become hostile to me. If you attack any other NPCs, you're going to have to be ready for a fight. They will become hostile to you, but the waydroids, you can actually just kind of kill them. And I know some people who do, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like something the character would do to kill them whenever they're not hostile to me. So I'm not going to do it. Even though they'd probably get me some extra scrap and some extra parts. I kind of want to go all in on freezing, and I think... Ooh, see what I'm talking about? Yeah, electrical arc slammed into me, and I just took most of my HP and damage. You have to really watch out for those electrofuges. I'm gonna reload my musket and just fire at that guy, because I was getting very low on HP. I didn't have my charge up. As a physical ability and physical mutation, freezing ray and charge are both going to be affected by my cooldown. Wait, why do I have reduced ego right now? Why is my ego only 14? I have no active effects. Did I put on something that reduces my ego? That increases my ego. I'm going to have to look back at my footage and see if I can figure out why my ego is so low. I don't remember setting my ego that low. I normally don't have any of my stats below 16. I'm curious to see what happened there. Maybe something that drained stats touched me and whenever I wasn't paying attention? That's strange. Well, it doesn't matter too much. We're not like an ego-based character, but it does affect my ability to sell things. We are going to take this iron buckler and equip it. It will put us into negative dodge values, but it'll put our armor value up to 6, which is fine. I don't necessarily want negative dodge values, but it's also not the end of the world. And that buckler will go on my arm like this, and it will have a chance to block attacks. We're probably not going to be using bucklers permanently, so I'm not going to worry about grabbing the skill. But I figured it's not the worst thing in the world to get. We're going to use a cataclysm tactic here and stand on the stairs. And we saw an electrofuge coming, so we backed up the stairs there. We're faster than these people, so we can actually just back away and charge. Most people can't do that. Our 21 quickness is what's allowing us to do that. That right there is one of the things that will kill a lot of beginning players, a slumberling. You nearly mistake it for a boulder, and then you spot a crease in its hide as he draws a slow, hibernative breath. Suddenly you understand the saying among pig farmers, always fear large rocks. Slumberlings sleep, for the most part, but if you piss them off or they wake up, they will charge you. And it is the equivalent of a boulder charging you. They can do absolutely crazy amounts of damage whenever they charge you, so be very careful waking them up, especially early game. the other thing about them is that they also have a lot of armor. So if you don't have a penetrative weapon... Okay. I think the robots will come up because he's awake now. And he was very damaged from the robots too, as we send out one laser beam and instantaneously kill it. Wait. Why is there an infiltrator here? That's why. Because there is a Templar squire. Wet skin scintillates behind his ears, his spine cambers in anticipation of blood-faded curvature, and he pokes his chin out in emulation of his embers. Sword grease stains his hands. Templars hate mutants. There is very little you can ever do to get the Templars to like you. Let me know in the comments if you've ever managed to get the Templars to like you as a mutant, but they are basically people who claim to be descendants of the great eaters of old and are actively trying to scour the earth of mentalists and mutants, which means that this guy is going to be trying to kill me. He is average, but so is this infiltrator, and so is the spark tick. The infiltrator just grabbed me and teleported with me, or teleported me away. I'm not sure which one of the two. Ah, the Templar came with me and then threw a grenade at me. Yeah, screw this. I am going to begin running. That door's on fire, so I don't want to pass through it. We're going to rest here. Something comes up, we'll charge it. We'll freeze the Templar. I think he's only slowed. He has steel plate mail, though. Kinda want his armor. Yeah, I kinda want his armor. Do we have anything we can throw at him? We do. I don't remember. Did we end up taking throwing? We do. Okay, what do we have in our hand? Because we need to kill this guy. High explosive grenade. Okay, we're going to throw it at the cell right behind him. Yes! High explosive grenade goes out, deals 21 damage, and obliterates the Putus Templar. And we level up. We are going to be spending points into, I think, probably Freezing Ray. Because I don't think I'm ever going to accelerate Freezing Ray. Although, if we get... Yeah, you know what? Screw it. We're going to get our wings to 6 first, because once we get to 6, our chance to fall clumsily to the ground will be reduced to 0%. And then, we don't need any more wayfaring. I think we'll take Conk, which is our first activated cooldown skill. You make an attack with a cudgel and an adjacent opponent. If you hit, you automatically daze them for 3 to 4 rounds. Dazing a dazed opponent stuns them. Conking a stunned opponent instead knocks them unconscious for 30 to 40 rounds. Unconscious opponents wake up dazed when they take damage. Yeah. Okay, and then we'll open our ability menu and find Conk and move it all the way up to the top. So now it is on our 3 button. So now whenever we charge someone, well, it died. I was going to say whenever we charge someone, we'll stun them, daze them, and then we can conk them to stun them. And if we just get a lucky daze off, we can then knock them unconscious. And that'll be very cool. Ooh, a compound bow. Ooh, a canteen of water. Hell yeah. We're going to take the compound bow as well. As we get our wings up higher level, we will also... we missed. Damn. We will also start having longer charge ranges as well. Infiltrator teleported me again. Teleported the centipede with me. Daze it. Kill it. Heck yes. We're pretty early, which means that there's probably only one Putus Templar here. So we don't have to worry about running into another one. They start traveling in packs later, and they get pretty freaking scary. If we see a high Templar or a Paladin, we'll probably just run, to be honest. I was trying to get our first ever stun off, but unfortunately, he saved against it. So we get the daze from the charging strike. We can then stun. I'm hoping to be able to get that off. Looks like we're done here. Let's head farther down. Okay. What? So I charged into something, and at the same time, someone threw a grenade at me. A novice of the Sightless Way threw a grenade at me from off screen, and I just took some damage from the thermal. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit all 3 of these guys with a... we'll hit 2 of them with a Freezing Ray. And then the novice of the Sightless Way is starting to burrow into me. So I actually want to run towards him. So... let me explain what this does real quick. So he is sundering our mind. He is going to be sundering our mind for the next 10 turns until he takes damage, or we completely leave the zone. We're going to be taking like 1d4 damage for 10 turns, but if all 10 turns pass, we will take all of the damage we took again. So if we took 20 damage, we're going to take another 20 damage at the end. And I'm 90% sure that's how it works. I've never actually taken Sunder Mind. I think it's kind of bad. there is a build for it where you, like, you know, get a permanent bubble shield around you. It probably pairs really well with Disintegrate, and you kind of just become an Akida person. But we're going to come up here and bonk him. And then we're actually going to press 5 or pyramid, period, depending on what your keybinds are, in order to just try and beat at the flames of our hands to set ourselves off of fire, because we were on fire. And out of these options, we're going to attack the centipede. The centipede is more dangerous than the crab behind us, and we can... Okay, we are going to switch places with a robot by moving into its space, because that was a spark tick, and we're very low HP. I think I'm actually going to use one of these robots and charge them in order to be able to move away from that slime very quickly. Okay, freeze the spark tick. There's another sightless way guy. I accidentally charged the wrong person. You know what? I just realized. Let's go back upstairs real quick. I forgot to get this guy's stuff. Steel plate boots. And we can just go super heavy armor right here, which is something I was planning on doing anyways this run. So we are going to equip these, equip the steel plates, and the shield goes on our arm. If we go to equip manual, it will go on our arm or our hand. So in a weird kind of ironic thing, we actually can wield a shield and a buckler at the same time, but only one of them can become a block per turn. So we're going to take the buckler off, and we are still looking for a two-handed hammer of some kind. We'll identify that as a airfoil poison gas thing, and we'll learn it. Oh yeah, we also have this displacer bracelet and a dithermo beam that we can learn. Let's go and see what those are. So we can make a displacer bracelet, which it doesn't say here, but I know what it does. It'll basically teleport us, I think, randomly. And then the dithermo beam is a missile weapon. It is a pistol. It shoots ice and hot, I think, if I remember correctly. We are missing the tier 6 photonics in order to make it, though. Can we make a salve injector? We need dreadroot tubers. Okay. So I'll keep in mind that we need to be getting dreadroot tubers. We are going to make a couple high explosive grenades, though, because those were very useful to us. Oh, someone in the comments reminded me, we can also use psychometry on ammo. And the next piece of slug ammo we get, we can use it in order to learn the recipe for slug ammo and then make our own ammo, which was something that I just sort of forgot that we could do. Psychometry is incredibly valuable. It is incredibly powerful. But Caves of Qud is a very hard game, so I don't really mind so much in this game to take very powerful things. A lot of times in other games, I will hold myself back from making, I wouldn't say meta choices. I wouldn't say psychometry is a meta choice, but I hold myself back from making very powerful choices because of the fact that I enjoy the difficulty. But even with really powerful choices, I have not made a lot of progress in Caves of Qud's storyline, especially because I play hardcore. That's ironic. We just found mechanical wings. Well, we already have wings, so we don't need to equip mechanical wings. Despite the fact that they're mechanical, we can't actually break them apart. We are going to break apart this musket, though. And we're going to start treating muskets as scrap, so in the future, whenever our character picks them up, they will automatically scrap them. And if you want to set up settings like that, those settings are in your advanced options. Actually, we're going to go back and grab that steel battle axe, because we're about to be in a town where we can sell this stuff. Finish auto-exploring the level, and looks like we just have a few more enemies. Happy for the experience. This guy just got... There was a person here, and they look like they just got wrecked, so we'll go ahead and take their dagger. We are going to use the exit tile button to head up to Grit's Gate. This is now Grit Gate proper. There's a force barrier here. If you have a character that can pass through force barriers, be careful about going through this force barrier and sneaking into town early. I have in previous saves, I don't know if it's at something that it's in 1.0, but I have in previous saves gone through this barrier prematurely, and people get really mad at you for this. But we are going to talk to this communications, basically an intercom. Begone, Wayfarer. This is no place for you. Wait, my name is Argon. I bring a message from Argive of Joppa. We complete a quest, get a bunch of experience, a slot opens from the center of the door, and a metal tray slides out, and we place the disc in the tray. So it seems that you are indeed Argive's apprentice. He wishes you to study with us. Unfortunately, we require more than a willing spirit. Qud is not Joppa. You will need to prove your worth, that you might not waste our time and efforts. Travel to the Great cavern Golgotha to the north. Within its halls, you will find a cache of dysfunctional waydroids. Recover one, repair it, and return here. If we are satisfied with your work, you will be admitted to our order. Otherwise, you will not be. Do you accept this arrangement? Yes. Communication panel takes the stamped disc, and we gain a new quest. More than a willing spirit. We do want to talk to the communication panel again and say, I require entrance to the city for the purposes of trade. And they say, enter them. Now we can head off to the right, past these beautiful torches, and speak to Maffeo. Maffeo is a Barathrumite, which is, as we found out earlier, weird quilled tinkering bear people. Fantastic. Caves of Qud never lets you down. Welcome to Gridgate, Delver. Care to enhance the quality of your stay with a wise purchase? What wares do you sell? Oh, I sell whatever sundries that meet my standards of quality, with some measure of curation. I try to ensure that my shelves carry a bit of many things, but you can count on finding more than enough ammunition and a few recoilers that can lead you back here in difficult times. If you have anything in need of repair or identification, I can take care of that as well for a few drams. I've been tasked to travel to Golgotha. My condolences to your sense of smell, friend. Golgotha is a execrable place in more ways than one. I would advise you not to visit without a healthy stock of yuck wheat and honey. If you can cook, a meal with yuck wheat may banish a disease before it comes into its own. That is a great tip that I actually was going to mention later. Bring salves or orberries too, and mind your feet in the Cloaca. Okay, that's a sentence. What kind of creature are you? We are called Urshib, friend. Our kind are smaller and smarter than the average bear, sharper too, and a bit more handy. He didn't say smaller, I just misread. We're gonna go ahead and trade with Maffeo here. He is one of my favorite merchants in the game, at least early, because he just consistently has really nice stuff to sell us. That kind of helps you finish out your early game builds. Let's see what all he has, and I'm gonna spend a lot of my money having him identify the items in his inventory for me, because it'll also help us in the future a little bit. So I did see that one of the items was a Gridgate recoiler. It's going to be my best thing to grab before I leave, and we're going to immediately trade that up so we can just see how much money we have. So after the recoiler, we have 128 left over. He does not have a battle hammer. That's very unfortunate. However, we are going to come down here, buy the copper nuggets and the pickaxe. I have plans for you, pickaxe. And I kind of want to buy another water skin, but right now with our negative Edo, the water skins are really, really expensive. So we need to get our Edo back up before we do that. We are going to go ahead and install a chem cell into the Gridgate recoiler. Once we find some solar cells, we'll want to put a solar cell in both of these, but for now, that'll do just fine. Yeah, with that, I think that's all he can do for us for now. So what we're actually going to do is we are going to recoil back, not the Gridgate, but to Joppa. Go ahead and eat some food while we're here, and we'll check out these two merchants real quick, because I am kind of just bouncing around hoping to get a hammer. That is a folding hammer. I think that's a one-handed hammer, though. I mean, it is significantly better than our current hammer, but I don't know if we care. We'll go ahead and buy the copper nuggets to store some of our money, and I think we're going to immediately sell some injectors. What's a loved injector do? You feel unusually amorous for about half a day, during which time you'll fall in love with the first thing you look at. If you inject someone else, they'll fall in love with you and follow you for about 3,000 rounds. There's 1% failure rate for every level higher than they are of you. Okay. There's a funny achievement I'd love to get someday where you make a clone of yourself and then make you fall in love with yourself, which is... This game just has some weird achievements like that. Let's go ahead and check our guide before we leave, way over here, because his stock does reset quite frequently. Again, we'll have him identify all of his artifacts so we can find them in the future. We'll check his options here. Spray a brain. What? I think that allows you to literally make something sentient. He does have a security card, but with our psychometry, we're never going to need it. He also has Lantern as a mod, which allows you to provide light with an item. If we had more money, we'd probably take that. We are going to sell our less offensive grenades to him, because I don't really care about the acid or poison grenades, and we will head back out. This over here is Golgotha. However, Golgotha is very hard and very dangerous. So before we go to Golgotha, what I'd like to do is I'd actually like to go to my historic sites. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. Historic sites. And I'd like to go to... Have we actually already been to Duva? I think we have. We don't have any other knowledge about any other historic sites. Historic sites almost always have a legendary in them, but it looks like we've already done Duva. I do apologize. I record these once a week, and I've been playing on my own, so we are kind of forgetting some of the small stuff that we're doing in between. Do we have a floating glow sphere yet? We don't. So I know where a guaranteed floating glow sphere is, but it's a pretty dangerous location. These asphalt mines up here can be quite deadly, but they have a guaranteed glow sphere in them every single time. I think we're going to head there and kind of hope we find a ruin, because I'd like to be maybe one level higher before we go down into Golgotha, because I don't want to die. Golgotha can be very, very dangerous. Now, I will say, there's some people in the comments who might know Caves of Qud a lot better, who know that there's an alternate way into Golgotha. There are multiple entrances. And one of the entrances is uniquely open to us in specific. We're going to freeze ray the fire pig behind us that just shot fire at us. And kill him first, to be honest. Because he might fire at us. Yep, he just shot fire at us again. Take him down. Fortunately, we're relatively resistant to fire. I think once we get our wings to 6, we'll probably take height and quickness all the way up to 9. And then the next time we get a acceleration, which will be at 15, we'll use it on height and quickness again. And then height and quickness will be done for the time being. I just want to be very, very fast, because we'll be using a relatively slower weapon. Fighting some robots and droids down here. This guy did just drop a chem cell. We have 4 of them. To be honest, we can actually probably disassemble like 2 of these. The tinkering bits don't take up space, but chem cells do. I want to charge this guy. Get away from me. There we go. Get that charge off. Freeze him. The charge really helps us get through their armor. Oh. The fire pigs down here are a problem. If anything is going to kill us, it's likely going to be a fire pig. Or something else that we'll run into later. To be honest, one of the only reasons I'm even trying this... Oh my gosh. The fire pigs! Okay, we're going to back up. And we're going to rest a moment. And then come back down and deal with these guys. The only reason I'm trying this is because we have the extra toughness. If we didn't have the extra HP from the toughness, I would say that this would be too dangerous. But we are a tanky, chunky boy. With a lot of armor for this point in the game as well. So I'm not too worried about our safety. Although the fire shots do kind of just ignore the fact that we have armor. We're gonna freeze that guy, charge in from a massive distance due to our wings, and take him down. This place also is going to have a lot of bits, scrap bits in it as well, which is very nice. It's brawling with some crabs up top here. Nothing too interesting. We're gonna go ahead and head down to the 2nd level. If you get far enough down that you start seeing lava, stop! The lava parts of this area are... Oh! So, I didn't see it in time, and I was pressing buttons too quickly, and we were in tar, but we ran into one of the rare things that can show up in kind of just randomly in this area, a humor. Humors are pseudopods that have random abilities depending on what elements they're currently aligned to, and they can do a shit ton of damage, and that one hit me with a shit ton of damage very, very quickly, and we died, which sends us all the way back to Joppa. I do want to try again, though, because I am not one to give up. Mind you, we immediately got lost, and now we are surrounded by hostile horses. Oh, it's a kudzu symbiote. What? Her hairbrush skin is shrunk around her strapping withers, flanks, and thighs. A rich platinum coat is spread smooth across her tranquil body, and then erupts the hooves and wild tufts along the long muzzle mane tassels, curtain her eye. The descriptions in Caves of Qud are unhinged. So apparently this thing's a symbiote for kudzu, which means it's probably going to try and rust our gear. So we're going to aim our beam here so that it goes across both of these guys, freezing the horse, and then we will attempt to finish it off. We just did a ton of damage to it, and it is stunned, but not down. Come on. Take it down before it gets a chance to attack us. Very nice. Now we just have snapjaws to deal with, which are trivial. We can probably one-shot most of these guys. Well, except for the big dudes. Go ahead and charge the guy with a gun. Ooh, he has a light obfuscating lens. That's really nice. We're going to actually equip that automatically. He also had a pump shotgun and some shotgun shells. So what the light obfuscating lens is, it goes in your floating nearby slot. So eventually I'll want to replace it with, actually we have night vision, don't we? I guess I don't necessarily need a floating light source. So the light obfuscating lens just gives you 1 dodge value, and it goes in your floating nearby slot. It's kind of cool. It's just like a, I assume it's kind of like a floating, like, tech lens that makes it so that's, you're a little bit harder to see. There's more off to the east. If I charge now, I'll go through that horse, which we don't want to piss off the rest of the horses. The only reason the kudzu horse was aggressive to me was because, well, it was infected by kudzu. We do find a bracelet there. That's basically just money. Ooh, there's an engraved sword there. That should tell us some information. Looks like it's Topor and a new historic site. Okay, we're going to go into our journal, go over to locations, and we're going to mark this Fora of Shekshur legendary sites so that we can check it out a little bit later. Rifling through the trash, we do actually just get some more information about the Sultan, because we do have the trash scavenging ability from the pariahs that lets us get some lore from trash. We're going to just kind of look around, see if we can find an exit to this place, since we're lost again. On a certain level, stun rods would actually probably not be the worst thing in the world for this character because of the... Ooh, there's a water skin there. I actually want that. I have some plans for water skins later. I would like some extra ones in case we run into like wine or honey or something more valuable than water. Ooh, there is a legendary there. What are you friends with? Ulubugu. Sure, he's admired by the children of Mammon and disliked by the daughters of exile. I don't like the children of Mammon, and I don't know who the daughters of exile are, so we're going to go ahead and kill him. Sometimes you want to be careful about who you kill whenever it comes to legendaries, because there's certain factions that you probably don't want to piss off that can really make your run a lot harder if you do piss them off. We're going to just bash into each other for a little while here. Him being a legendary means that, yeah, he took a little bit more than the average to take down. We'll go ahead and take his canteen, filled with water as well. Check out this painted longbow, which gives us some more information about Polymask. And that's about it. We'll auto-explore at the end to make sure we didn't miss anything super valuable, but I don't see anything super valuable around here. I'll do an auto-explore real quick. Got some more information about one of the other sultans, and we will pop between some areas here. Our random meal just gave us a +1 agility. Very nice. Finally, regained our bearings. So it says that we can't leave. I just tried to leave. It says that we can't leave because there's hostiles nearby. I don't think I've shown this off yet. So we can begin flying and just leave. On the way out, we did notice some ruins nearby, so we actually can explore that as well. Ooh, a salve injector right away. Nice. Why did we stop? Snapjaw scavenger? It keeps saying that we see a snapjaw scavenger, but we don't. Oh, it's because they're around a campfire, so they're off in the distance. I am actually going to take the beaded bracelet. I think that has value. Another salve injector. Now, mind you, we are allergic to salves, I believe. Yeah, we're allergic to tonics, but even though they will give us a random effect, we are still going to get healed by them. So a lot of times it's still worth it. And another water skin. I think we'll have enough water skins at this point. Let me go ahead and check. Yeah. Also, these stun rods are going to be really common, so we're also going to treat these as scraps so that any stun rods we pick up in the future will just give us scrap instead of getting us anything else. And again, we don't need that many chem cells, so we'll break some of those down as well. That should be enough water skins for what I want to do later. I have learned from my mistakes that having just a couple extra water skins is pretty valuable. These ruins were not that interesting. I will note that this rusted archway is also a unique location, this bridge. If you are playing a Truekin, you should probably explore this to the bottom floor. You'll know what I'm talking about whenever you head down there. Knowing that we don't need a floating light source, I do think that we're going to probably head into Golgotha. We do get some experience just for coming in here. And because we have psychometry, we can open this door here. And I am not... There's a trick here. If you have flight, although I would like one more level before I attempt this trick, because it can be very dangerous. There's an interesting thing you can do that pretty much technically everyone can do, because there is a place you can get some guaranteed mechanical wings, which gives you a temporary amount of flight. However, doing it without psychometry can be hard because you have to get that door open. But realistically speaking, you can just dig your way through the wall instead of trying to get the door open. We're going to back up and charge to try and get through this guy's armor, because we are struggling to get through his armor right now. Frickin' turtles, man. Turtles early game can just be so difficult to deal with because of all their armor. Like, most of our hits are just hitting his armor value instead of hitting him. But if you think about it, we're going to be the same way one day, so... The freezing ray guarantee does damage to him, which is very nice. Oh, we actually knocked him unconscious for a second there. I saw the little Z. That's very cool. I believe that would be our first unconscious hit. Oh! Well, I didn't mean to do that. So what happened there was we charged over a shaft, which dropped us into Golgotha. Golgotha is going to be filled with pools of sludge, and each of the 4 entrances to Golgotha has different vents. These vents seem to be, I think these are the ones that put out poison gas. There's some other vents here that put out fire, and each of the 4 entrances are going to have a different threat. Yeah, for example, oh, that was acid, not poison gas. Acid is not the part of Golgotha that I wanted to be on. I did not mean to jump down here. This is actually a tiny bit of a problem. I can't get back out now. We're going to try and take down this slime. And if it fails, we'll run. We did kill the black jelly. Oh, yeah. We are going to begin running. We unfortunately stepped into that right as the acid went by. You can actually see when the acid is about to go by, because the vent will light up a different color. Back up far enough that we can rest. Freeze the aggle maggot there. Hopefully we can... Okay, we are very low HP. Oh, we managed to kill it at the last second. I was about to say we're going to go ahead and use a tonic, which is risky because we could catch fire. There's a lot of bad things that can... Oh my gosh. This muck, this brackish black ooze. So yeah, if you watch the vent to our south there, it's going to light up in a second here, and then the next turn it will fire. So we're going to step here, and these conveyor belts will make you automatically move as well. So you need to be careful of that. We're going to charge over to the robot in order to get off the conveyors so we're not getting pushed around. Take this robot out, and we finally level up. Okay, so I want to get another level of wings. So now we can't accidentally fall from the sky. And then instead of getting the next cudgel skill, we are going to take opportune attacks with single weapon fighting, because we're going to eventually use two-handed weapons, so this is a good thing. It says whenever you store a critical with a melee weapon while single weapon fighting, the cooldown of up to 2 random weapon or shield skills is immediately refreshed. We're going to go ahead and buy that, and we gain single weapon fighting, which is a new passive that is going to be toggled on, and we'll put it at the bottom because we don't really care about our passive. We will leave that on for the rest of the game, so we're not too worried about that. That is a giant beetle. I actually want to step right here so the giant beetle gets stuck in the acid, and unfortunately he was wise to that. See, we just hit him with our bonk ability. He then got dazed and then stunned, and then because we crit, our bonk actually came off of cooldown, and we'll charge back into him for the kill. Be careful auto-exploring here. You know what? I think the acid... I don't know which one's more dangerous to us, the acid or the fire. We don't have any resistances, which are listed down here, by the way. So it doesn't actually matter. They're both equally dangerous. The fire can set us on fire, though. So we're going to avoid that. Although the acid can cover us in acid, so it's equally bad either situation. We'll go ahead and run past, get down to the next level. And there's a lot of shit down here. 2 giant beetles with tons of armor, a voider, which is a type of spider that will teleport itself, and I think also us, and a crustacean. And both of these vents I just noticed are about to fire. So we're gonna take a step real quick. Take a step back so that we're not in the acid. And honestly, we're just gonna run down to the next vents, which puts us on the bottom floor. You'll know that you're on the bottom floor if you see a lot of trash and sludge. We need to be careful now that we're down here. So we're going to take a step. Oh, the crabs from above, or the beetles from above, followed us down. We're going to camp real quick. And I also just noticed that we have an unfortunate thing happening to us. If we check our effects, we have stiff legs. Our legs ache at the joints. And before we complete this bottom floor, I'd actually like to do something a little strange. So right now, we could go and find a waydroid. However, instead, we are going to recoil, go back to Grit Gates, and is there something I can do in order to try and get rid of what's happening to us right now? I don't remember if any of these things have fear-based cooked meals, and none of these things have a chance to give us a chance to resist diseases. So if we're not careful, we could get a disease here. We're also going to recoil to... Oh, the chem cell is used up. We'll go in here, recharge our Joppa, which just takes a few A bits, and then we'll recoil to Joppa. We're gonna check Ham real quick. He also only has vine wafers. The stiff legs will eventually turn into a disease. If you remember one of the earlier Reshef things, it said that one of the diseases was that people's legs were turning to metal. That is, in fact, what is happening to us right now. Our legs are slowly turning to metal. And I don't really want that to happen. So, that's very unfortunate. What does the oven here do? Oh, you know what? There's also an extra merchant now. I almost forgot about her. Nima Ruda. She is the daughter of the elder, and she sells pharmacy stuff. Yuckwheats, there we go. So if we look at yuckwheat, it does actually have medicinal properties. We're going to buy just one, and hopefully we can just eat that, and it should give us an effect. I'm not 100% sure if that works. Maybe we have to cook with it. Go ahead and buy another one. To be honest, I haven't played with diseases too much, because I often have regeneration, which will prevent diseases from taking effect on you. And even without regeneration, there's a thing in Gritgate once we get this part of the quest done that will make it a lot easier to deal with these problems in general. Do we have enough skill points to pick up cooking? We probably should pick up cooking. Yeah, we would need 100 skill points to pick up cooking. Again, I actually did not want to go into Golgotha yet. I was planning on just exploring the top and showing off something, which is why we have gotten ourselves in this sticky situation. I really don't want to end up in the situation where we have a disease. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to recharge our Gritgate Retroiler, because we don't want to go too far on the overworld, because it'll spend a lot of time advancing our disease. We're going to come over here, and we're going to exit Gritgate just by going up through the normal means, which puts us a lot closer to Golgotha, and hopefully... Okay, we still only have stiff legs. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you this alternate thing that I was going to talk about. So if you can manage to open this door, which alternatively this is a switch to open this door, but you'll see that later. You'll see this little chute here, this deep shaft. If you were to just jump down this, you would die. No questions asked, you would die. However, if you can fly, and you can fly the entire time, now if you do it with mechanical wings, there's a chance you die anyways, because there's a chance that you fall every turn. You can move over the space, press down. You're now flying. Oops, I went the wrong direction. My bad. And you can fly through each floor all the way to the bottom. And as soon as you step off, you'll stop flying. Ooh, cybernetic credit wedge. Nice. And a Agglefly. Aggleflies shoot lightning, or not lightning, laser beams at you, which is rude. We're gonna go ahead and stun him and try and take him down. We got a critical hit. So I want to try and find a waydroid as quickly as possible and then leave. There is a boss down here, but I think we'll come back for him because I'm more worried about the stiff legs right now. So there should be a waydroid in one of We're going to kill these dread roots as well because it'll let us make salve tonics. We just slipped on the sludge. Should be a waydroid somewhere in the sludge. And if you've missed it, you can hold Alt and you'll actually see the waydroid a lot easier. Oh, hey, a grenade launcher. That is our first heavy weapon. We're going to go ahead and equip that. We will reload it with a Mark I grenade. And there's the boss. Slog of the Cloaca. That's what she was talking about. She was saying avoid the Cloaca. Yeah, he's actually pretty scary. He is a horrifying mollusk creature that is very, very strong. We are going to attempt to freeze him, stun him, and then we are going to begin sprinting and try and get away from him. He is firing some sort of projectile at us. We'll stun that as well. Got a critical hit off on the worm here. Come on, I just want... All I want in my life is a waydroid. I think we have gotten far enough away from the Cloaca, which is a great word to say over and over. There's a dread root hidden here. Oh, hey, there we go. We got a tuber. There's a chance every time you kill a dread root. And there we go. Scrap the waydroid. Okay, we're going to kill this because we need to not have any enemies around us. We're going to pick up the waydroid, which gives us some experience. And then we're going to recoil back to Gritgate. The waydroid needs to be repaired. You have two options. You can come over here and talk to Maffeo in order to repair it, or if you're a tinkerer like us, you can just come down to the waydroid and repair it. It says can't repair hostile creatures nearby, probably because there was a leftover from our previous area. And then you come up to here and say we have completed the task. You may enter. Simply walk through the forest barrier. Make your first two lefts and speak to the steward Otho. Okay, we're not going to do that. Instead, we are going to come all the way up here to their medical room, and then we're going to start reading these with psychometry. One of these, that's a peptic bed, and that is... Let's just go ahead and attempt to identify it. There we go, hyperbiotic bed. I think hyperbiotic is what we need to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this and sleep. Oh, we now have a sore throat. That's not good. Oh, a throat is sore and tongue is swollen. Yeah, that's not good. Hold on. Okay, we actually did look this up because I didn't remember exactly how this works. Yuckweed stem does give us a higher chance to save against these things, but the beds here don't help unless it is a fungal infection. We should also clean ourselves off, though, because there's a chance that we are going to reinfect ourselves. So we're going to clean ourselves off. So we failed because, well, we're just that dirty. Pour it on ourselves. We'll just pour 2 drams on ourselves. There we go. We are clean now. We have a sore throat. There's another thing we can do. We can go to the oven here, and we will eat the porridge, which gives us a +3 saves to disease. And if we eat a unfermented yuckweed stem, we'll release an electrical discharge. It's good that we did that in that order. We're going to go back to the medical bay, check to see what's in the chests. You can take from these chests without stealing. There's some fitted spray and some of that, and some stems. And none of these seem to help too much. So we're just going to go ahead and rest and hope that we can... It looks like we're not succeeding our saves. We'll see if we have any more yuckweed stem for sale here. If you are a Truekin, there is always a becoming nook here, and there's always a cybernetics rack that has some cybernetics in it. We had a cooking skill. We could use a star apple jam to increase our save chance as well, but we don't have a cooking skill, which is, again, very unfortunate. If we end up taking a disease here, it's going to be like the vast majority of our life for the next little bit in order to get rid of this disease. I will say one of these chairs, I always forget which one, does also regenerate your limbs. Peptid chair seems to help with our natural healing. We do have the +3 saves to diseases. Even with the saves, though, we only have like a 25% chance to save against these. Oh, there we go. Okay, we've saved against one of them. We still have a sore throat, which will lead to another disease, but we no longer have the stiff legs. Thank goodness. Okay, we're going to eat a little bit more porridge, and we're going to rest in the chair again. I don't think it's actually helping. The chair, that is. The porridge is definitely helping. But I really don't want to contract diseases, because we're just going to have to spend all of our time dealing with the disease if we end up getting one. And there we go. Okay. Oh, I was honestly very worried for a second there. We are now only hampered, which increases our move speed by 25, but that's not the worst thing in the world because we have quickness to counteract it. And it does mean that we will want to take heavy weapons sometime soon, which once we get tank as part of heavy weapon, we'll no longer suffer that movement speed. And the first one, strapping shoulders, allows us to wield heavy weapons without, it cuts their weight in half. That was really close. I was very worried we were going to get 2 diseases from Golgotha. Even if you survive the dangers of Golgotha, you could end up with horrible diseases. Go in there very prepared. But with that, we're going to have to end the episode for today. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode, and if you did, please subscribe and like the video, and be back next Wednesday for more Caves of Qud, or just check out our channel in general for hard video games. Hope you have a nice day, and goodbye.